I'm Ed.
I'm Jonathan.
And welcome to another episode of Small Town Puller. The tractor's finally prepped and in the booth and ready for paint. We're going to get it painted today, then we can start getting it put back together in preparation for the pull-in march at Waterloo. We'll walk you around the tractor before we start painting it, and then after we get it out of the booth, we can start putting this thing back together. We got a lot of work to do. So here it is, all sitting on jack stands, ready to go. Jonathan did most of this work over the last 2 weeks to kind of grind all the welds. He had some help with one of my workers here, but they took care of 99% of it. I was actually gone out of class, so I was not involved in a lot of it, but they took a bunch of time, kind of cleaned up all the welds and everything, got everything ready to go. It's as good as it's going to be. Like I say, the tractor is not perfect, but this is going to make it look quite a bit better. A lot of work went into it to get it to this point, but yeah, we're finally ready to paint. So we're going to get some color mixed up after we put down a coat of sealer and get this thing painted. And there we have it. It is all painted. If you like the color of purple, let us know in the comments down below. It's actually a Chrysler color. You get on like the Dodge Challengers and Chargers and stuff. Of course, now that I've got it painted, I can see every little imperfection and everything we missed. I never wanted it to be perfect, but there's some things I wish we would have caught before we sprayed it. But overall, it's gonna look so much better than it did last year. Rose and Jonathan do share this tractor, but Rose does like the color purple, and her fire suit is purple and black. I see I've got a couple runs in that. Painting pipe can be real difficult. There's like 5 or 6 sides to every piece of pipe, so it can be a little stressful or kind of a pain to paint. Pretty good size run right there. But overall, it's gonna look pretty good once we get everything together. Should be a pretty sharp tractor. We're gonna go flat black again with the fenders and stuff. Those are ready for primer. And then we will get this thing all put together, but we should be able to put the cage and everything back on it yet this week. And Jonathan can start assembling everything again. So we're gonna call it a day for now. Go home and eat some supper or eat some lunch, and then be back this week and keep going on her. Ready, bud?
Yeah.
And we're live. Oh. So we're back working at the tractor again today. I've got the rear end out of it after we got it painted. Things keeps leaking fluid, so we're gonna try to get that kind of fixed. I'm gonna work on putting that back together. Jonathan's gonna work on, we're gonna paint the transmission before we put it back in, so he's gonna finish getting that thing cleaned up, get a coat of black paint on it. That way it just kind of hides it a little bit when it's sitting in between the rails. All the sheet metal is painted. We're kind of hoping to have it kind of look like a tractor again by the end of the day. A lot of work to do, but we've got a good portion of the day to kind of work on it. So we're gonna get going on this, get Jonathan clean the transmission, let him spray that, and then hopefully by then I have the rear end in and we can start putting everything back together. So I think we're gonna get going on everything. What do you say, bud?
Yeah.
Let's do this. So Jonathan's getting the rear end,
Transmission!
So Jonathan's getting the transmission painted. He's got it kind of all scuffed, kind of quick mask on it so we don't get overspray where we don't need it. Got to get some other parts degreased, but the rear end leaking last year. The brake rotors got pretty oily, so we need to get them cleaned up. He's getting the front steering all cleaned up. Rear end is back in it. Axles are back in it. That went all right. I think we're going to go to bolting on the roll cage, maybe getting the seat belts, start kind of building out the back of the tractor, and then hopefully by then the rear end will be clean or painted, and we can throw that back in the tractor. So I guess that's kind of the next step. We're gonna get some bolts shoved in and try to get some stuff more permanently mounted. Careful. You know what we're gonna do after we get this tractor put together? Clean, because we keep making a disastrous mess.
I'll just stay here.
Here, want to swap you?
Excuse me. Why didn't you shove it? One last one.
One more. It fits. It's like it was on here once already last year. All right. Let's tighten it by hand, or check it by hand, and then we will.
Wait, why do we have to tighten it by hand if
we're just gonna check it by hand? I don't think there's a torque back for homemade roll cage on a pulling tractor.
They're gonna be pretty tight.
If we roll it over and they break, we know we went too tight. Let's just work on not rolling it over. Can you hold a wrench down there on that side?
Oh, no, I can't right now.
I can do it actually.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Back on. Woohoo! Let's get the seat and get that put on. We can do the belts. And then we can do, actually we gotta put the bracket on for the fenders first, so let's get that put on. Alright, now that we found all the bolts that Jonathan took out, he did have them labeled in a bag, so that made it handy. Now we just gotta throw it in.
You don't have to put the bolts on.
No, set the bolts on the sides. Get the spacers put in. Went home, grabbed a little bit of lunch. Regroup. We did not get as much done this morning as we wanted to, so we're gonna have to push hard this afternoon. All right. All right.
Now
ready, bud?
we get to set it in.
Get to set it in now. See if I can't hurt myself. And then
You okay?
yeah, I'm good. I can just get
Oh god.
this All right. Cool beans. We gotta get the bolts started in the back, get that tight, and then that'll kind of help with this. So we'll get all the bolts kind of set in here.
We also need to see how so we need to make that straight too.
We will. That goes better. All right.
Why don't we put these bolts in first in the back?
We gotta get these started first.
Okay.
Let's get bolts come up from the bottom, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. I was gonna say. Come here, little guy. Oop. So close. Oop. Right here. Get yours. Hey, look. This might help.
Yeah, they're threaded. Or are they?
No, these shouldn't be. These aren't. The front ones are.
Oh. Mine look threaded.
I'll tell you what. If mine's threaded, I just effed up the threads. But no, they're not threaded. They just It's the casting, Jonathan, that you're seeing.
Hit it.
What?
You gotta hit it. Well, where's the...
It's a brave move. You're gonna hold it and let me hit it? I don't know if I'd try that, but yeah, whatever. I've seen how I swing a hammer. You ready? Eyes closed.
Safety squints.
Where?
Don't try this at home.
No, move your... Is it coming through?
Yeah.
Can you get your lock washer and nut on there?
Where'd my lock washer? Where's
Can't believe that actually worked. All right.
the lock washer go?
I don't know.
I blame you.
All right.
Where did that go? Uh-oh.
Well, you can grab a new one if you need to.
Do you have one in this size?
I'm sure we do.
What size are these? We're gonna Loctite these bolts, cause
Alright, let's get these back bolts in. We're gonna use some Loctite on them this time because what did we find out when we took it apart last
there
year?
was one.
One bolt out of the 4 was still holding. So there's a couple pulling tracks in the area that have got these bolts on there sitting someplace because we put everything together last year and thought everything was good, and you know,
And
we've
the
never had
other-
an issue with these coming out before, so
The other thing is we could probably check them
we will this year.
every time.
They've got well, not every time, but they've got a long ways to go to back out. So okay, why doesn't that want to go? There's that one right there. There we go. So we're gonna get this one in, and then we'll put the other ones in and Loctite them, and then we'll back this one back out and Loctite it.
And then we gotta make sure the transmission
And these are an
works.
absolute pain in the butt to get. Whoever designed this idea that you gotta use an Allen wrench to get these out, and the Allen wrench, that's right, I've got a special one made, because guess what? You can't get the Allen wrench on here. Like, I don't know who.
Wait, so where's your special one?
I use an actual 1/4 inch bit to put on there. But I gotta go over and grab that. I kind of forgot I needed that. But we're gonna go 180 off. If you look at the back part of this transmission, someone actually cut it off, and this is a gigantic piece of aluminum plate that's all cut and welded to put on there to shorten this up. So as much as I might complain about how they've got this bolted on, it does kind of suck to put off and on. But it does work. It works pretty good. So we're gonna get the last couple in and then move on to the next thing. Put the seat in here. Hopefully everything fits. Hold on here. Oop, nope, hold on. We gotta go way up in the back. I'm gonna try to get. All right. You start feeding them through. All right, them nuts are started. Let's get the one in the back quick. And the seats installed. We actually got the brake calipers on, rotor hats, all that stuff. Everything fits real tight on this tractor, but that was kind of the way it was designed. So we're ready to actually hang some sheet metal. Sorry we haven't filmed a whole lot of us kind of putting any of that stuff together. We just kind of got going on it and things were going all right, so we did it. There's a little bit of drag on them brakes. They will, you move it around, they loosen up a little bit. So usually by the time we're going down the track, they're fine. So I think next we're going to try to get these fenders and floorboards on, because if we put the floorboards on, we can actually mount the master cylinders again. So let's get all that put together, and then we can start moving forward.
That's tight.
It is a little tight. It'll be all right. Ready, bud?
Mm-hmm. What?
So let's see if we can do this without scratching everything.
Are you sure?
Am I ever sure?
No. Well.
What was that one time? Hey. Fits. I like the looks of that. She's gonna be pretty, Jonathan.
Don't think I'd say that on camera, but
Nothing wrong with thinking a tractor's pretty.
I don't know.
All right.
It's a little weird though.
I like it. Let's get both fenders on, and then we'll kind of mock up the back and the sides, and then we can go put the floorboards on. It's actually gonna look like something again. So let's grab everything and let's get that done. We got the fenders mounted. The backs are not riveted on all the way. We will actually put rivets in there. Those bolts are just holding in place. I want to put the decals on the back before we actually rivet them on all the way. But next we're gonna be able to put the floorboards on, put the master cylinders back on. Probably be able to set that cover back on there. We start again, just kind of keep coming forward with the tractor and hopefully get something done here. There's still a lot of little things left to do, like the hitch in the back, all the wiring, all that stuff, and all that stuff's gonna take some time, but it's finally going back together. I like the way it looks. I think it's got kind of a neat look to it, so we're gonna keep going and try to get the floorboards, brakes on, and keep moving. So we got the floorboards and brakes all kind of set up. We'll have to go back through and we zip tie these lines to the frame and stuff like that. But both brakes are on, floorboards are on. We're gonna start putting, again, moving forward. We're gonna get this put on. That'll let us put the steering and this cover right here on. Then we can go to the second or the jack shaft and then move up from there. Jonathan's getting all the bolts pulled out so we can get this put together. And again, just slowly making progress. So we're back at it today, hoping to maybe have the motor and everything all together, about ready to fire it up. Jonathan's gonna grab the steering. We're gonna get that shoved in. The steering rack's already installed. Then we'll get the motor set in here, get all that stuff adjusted, and then move on to the water tank and gas tank. And like I say, hopefully, she kind of looks like a tractor today. So it'd be really cool to set on the wheels. We probably won't today, but I think we can get her done. So let's.
Or over 3/4 done.
Yes, get it. We're gonna go for 90% done. I'm sure a lot of little stuff is gonna kind of kick our behind, the wiring, all that stuff, but I think we can pretty much have it looking like a tractor again today, and then yeah, get all the little stuff taken care of. Let's get her done. All right. Ready, bud?
Yeah.
Let's shove this. My hand's not in the right way.
Yeah.
Take the belt off of there once.
Off?
Yep, take the belt off of there. Okay. Let me go like this. Let's set this down.
Dad.
Yeah.
Try to get all the wiring.
Yep. There's just a couple wires.
Yeah.
All right.
Not as many as that one, but.
Just shift it through there. Let me go.
You're gonna have to slide that back.
Hold on here. Like that.
Why don't we try to get it on?
Here in a second. there, and there. And now, all right, the motor's sitting back on there. Now we just gotta hook everything back up. Let's cut the chain.
I'll be back here.
Okay. I think we're gonna cut the chain next and start to get all that stuff set up on there. Track ready? Oh, that's close. Closer than I want it to be. Whoo! We may have to try to move that fender up a hair.
What?
Oh, buddy.
It's fine though.
No, that's gonna rub.
It's not rubbing.
No, it's not. You're right. It is not. But yes, it is. Oh no, it's not.
See?
We're gonna have to. It won't take much though. We'll just move them up right here.
Okay.
And wow.
Call it good.
I knew I wanted the fenders close, but that's a little too close. So I think we're basically down to a couple small things. I actually think it would fire up and go down the track right now. We kind of get working, forget to film stuff. The gap up in here is really, really tight. And as much as it might work out, I think what we are going to do is loosen these two bolts down here and actually slide that fender up a little bit. It kind of sucks because I cut these fenders so they'd sit level with here, so it's actually going to sit up a hair. Is it a deal breaker? No. I'd rather, I guess, move them up than have them rub on the fenders. But I think we have just a little bit. We move them up about a 1/4 inch. It'll give us a little more around them fenders. So I think that's going to be our last thing we do before we
Put it on the ground.
put it on the ground, put fuel in it, and fire it up. Let's get this done. I want to hear this thing run today. Let's do this. So I'm back at it this morning. Jonathan had to take off. He had a place he had to go this afternoon, but he did come in this morning. He got the wheels sprayed black. Initially, we wanted to put some aluminum wheels that I have on it, but the axles here are just not the correct diameter, and we'd have to cut these off. And I'm not saying we won't do that, but we don't have time to do that right now. Did get the front weights mounted underneath here, and then we did get the gas tank mounted, which the hose, the pipe bands we use, we always cover with shrink wrap or shrink covering for our electrical wire, just to make it look a little bit nicer so you don't just see the strap sitting on there. Otherwise, Jonathan got the wheels kind of set on this morning. I just ran to about 4 different stores trying to get enough parts to kind of finish this, and I think we're going to try to get it mostly wrapped up today. Jonathan ain't going to be here to try to start it, so I'll probably wait till tomorrow morning or tomorrow sometime to start it. But I think I've got almost everything. We got to make a plate for up here yet to cover this hole. That's where the sending unit actually went when this thing is supposed to be used for a gas tank. And then just a couple little odds and end things, but I think I can get most of it wrapped up today and hopefully work on my tractor a little bit. So I'm gonna get going. I have hopefully nobody here to distract me or anything, so hopefully I can get quite a bit done. All right, it's our last day to work on the tractor.
Want me to put this on?
Yep, Jonathan's gonna work on putting on the valve. We spent the other night, the rest of the night we spent painting all the valves and stuff black because they just stuck out like a sore thumb when they were white. So now that everything's painted there, Jonathan's gonna actually work on putting the top on. He's gonna laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
But then this thing hopefully should be ready to load here in about an hour or so. We're gonna drop that.
Yep.
It's nice and painted aluminum or powder coated aluminum, so just throw that on the floor if you would like.
Okay.
We got a little bit of work to do inside the trailer, but then this thing will be ready to load, and hopefully this afternoon this thing will be in the trailer ready to go. We're not gonna permanently hook up the battery until we are at the pole, but otherwise we just got a little bit of work to do, and this thing should be ready to roll, hopefully for the season. I do want to make a different switch box at some point in time, but we'll see if that actually gets done this year. Currently it works, so we might end up running it for the season. So let's get this put together, bud. And it's down back on the ground. We're getting close. So we're officially down to 1 week. The only thing we really have left on this one is to, yeah, we got to finish up the water tank stuff. One, I want to paint these valves because to me they're white and they look really bad. Jonathan's got to finish making the cap for right there. And then we're going to put another valve off of here. That way we can dump the water if we need to out of the tank. Otherwise, we want to put some little step grip down on the steps where they get on the tractor. That's right there. And I'd like to go around and touch up some of the bolts and make them black, just so they're not sticking out. I don't know, if we don't get that one done, I'm not gonna be too upset. Otherwise, we're really close. I don't know if we'll quite finish it yet tonight, because we'd like to work on my tractor a little bit too.
Fire it up like twice.
We did fire it up on Saturday. It does run, both kill switches work, the timer for the water pump works. So yeah, we're really close. So it shouldn't take much more. We're definitely gonna get her done. We're gonna go have some fun. We unload them next Thursday in Waterloo, Iowa, and then we go 2 weeks after that up to New Richmond, Wisconsin.
Well,
We're gonna,
if everything holds
if
together.
we don't break anything. So let's get at her, Jonathan, and try to get your plate cut, and I'll start working on the valves and either get it done tonight or we'll finish it on Saturday and we'll get it loaded up. So one issue we do have is with the new tank right here, the rubber hose kinks really bad. So what I actually end up doing, and we'll have to slide this ahead a little bit, heater hoses will have some cool bends and stuff in them. And this one's off of, I'd have to look, but I believe it's some Ford Thunderbird. But correct diameter size already. It's got the correct elbow and bend on it that I already need. And it was like $6. So I've done this before. I've used heater hoses to get it by. Up here, that's also a heater hose off of, and I'm trying to think what that one's off of. But if you're ever looking for some cheap radiator hose, or cheap coolant hoses for some of these smaller engines, heater core hoses a lot of times will work, and you can usually pick them up pretty cheap. And a lot of times you can find ones that have the bends in them, or I've even seen guys where they'll get a hose with 2 or 3 bends in it, and they'll use 2 parts of the hose, they'll end up cutting it up and be able to make the one hose into 2 hoses. So we're gonna get this last clamp off of here, get this installed, and I think I'm gonna go into painting these. Jonathan's making a gasket for the cover he made for the tank, and then we're gonna get this thing hopefully put together. All right, you wanna see how this goes in here?
I know that. I mean, which one do you want me to have the notch off of?
Right there.
How
So
about-
get one bolt started. No, put one bolt in right now.
I can't.
Yeah, you can't. Just put one in right now.
Oh, I
To
get
hold
what
it
you're
there.
saying. Gotcha. Okay.
All right, I'll set that over here. And you're gonna put one more bolt in when I pick it up.
I got it.
Grab it. No.
Wait.
Ready?
There. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Started yet?
I think so.
I don't think it is. Go. No, you look like you're going a little crooked there, bud.
No, this. Stop.
No, it's not in.
Yeah, it
there.
is.
No, it's not.
Drop it. Yeah, it is.
It's not. It's not started yet.
It is.
I told you it started. Okay, I may have been wrong on that one.
What do you mean may have?
I just may have.
Well, can't say may have if you were.
Hold on here. Here, hold this once. I'm gonna try to get one started over here. I got one.
Okay.
Is the seal on here?
I think so. I'm gonna say with not full confidence.
The
yes.
seal is on here. Okay. We think there's a chance.
There's a chance. It's not that great, but there's a chance. You want to try to get this one? I think I might have fast started it.
I don't know. How about you go get the correct size socket?
And how about that? Check that one.
I will. Some of them, just the way the gasket's on here, doesn't like to go on right. Alright. Alright, fenders are moved. You come back through, spray the bottom of that black a little bit so when you're kind of looking at it, you don't see it. Probably should have sprayed this one too, but we're going to let that one go for now. Maybe get the aluminum wheels put on, hopefully before the season starts. Otherwise, I think we're ready to drop it down. We can officially take the list. Well, that's why I don't play sports and I do tractor pulling, but Jonathan, it's time to drop it down and get this thing fired up for the first time in, what, 6 months?
Isn't tractor pulling a sport?
It is for me. We're going to count it as a sport. I'm not even good at it, but I enjoy doing it, so. Let's get this thing on the ground, prime the fuel system, and get it fired up. The last part, Jonathan.
It's exciting.
Cool to see this thing done again.
For the
If I can.
third time? Fourth time?
Oh, this is going to be. I bought it, and then the second year in it, I redid it a little bit, and then for last year we redid it a little bit, and then we finished redoing it. So this is only gonna be, I'm gonna say, the second time we've redone this tractor.
No, because you painted it the first time, and then we put the roll cage on it, and then we called it done.
Well, done for the year.
Whoa! Same difference.
One piece on.
Number dos.
One. Oh, come on.
There's grass on it. Oh,
Stuff
that's
on
not
it.
grass. That's not grass.
No.
Oopsie.
Man, everything is tight on this tractor.
Why didn't we make the frame wider?
I didn't build the frame.
But why didn't we make the frame wider?
Because, you know.
We could have lengthened it.
No. You know what?
Or not lengthened it, made it wider. 'Cause we technically did lengthen it, didn't we?
No, we actually made it shorter.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's it, Jonathan. I think it is done. Other than filling the water tank, I think we are good. Let's fire it up one last time, and we're calling this project ready to go. My bad.
Excuse me.
All right,
Ready?
ignition on. Choke. Ready? Ready to load it. It is officially ready to go to Waterloo.
Alright.
Alright, cool.
And that's it for this episode of Small Town Polar. Hope you enjoyed.
Please like, share, and subscribe.